istagan. Halle, 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 oh, eh. Halle, 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 hey. Ikunisi, asi idgi istagan. Halle, 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 oh, eh. Halle, 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 hey. Ikunisi, asi idgi istagan. Halle, 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 oh, eh. Halle, 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 hey. Ikunisi, asi idgi istagan. Halle, 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 oh, eh. Halle, 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 hey.
Haida Gwaii. Every part of the island chain resounds with the sounds of water. Rivers and streams run like arteries throughout the rainforest, bringing life to the archipelago. The greatest of these is Yagun Andle, the Yaqun River. Each year it brings a wealth of salmon to the heart of the island. Here we meet up with some Haida fisheries technicians or caretakers employing the tried and true fisheries technique, hiking upstream and counting fish. Haida have managed this river since the time of the glaciers. By drawing knowledge and power from Wathath or potlatch, Haida maintains strict resource management practices to the present day. These salmon have been revered for thousands of years, ensuring intergenerational prosperity. Today, as then, Haida continue their legacy of stewardship and care for Yagun Andale. The caretakers try not to disturb the fish while they keep moving upriver to make an accurate count of each species. These are swagan, called sockeye salmon in English, one of the most cherished fish for Haida people and many other coastal First Nations. Here are a couple pairs of swagan courting each other. The males do their best to show the ladyfish their fitness and prove their worth. Larger species, such as yahts'ii or coho, and tawan or chinook, like to stay out of sight, tucked safely away in the deeper parts of the river. These fish often school up and hold in deep pools, waiting and only moving when conditions are right or when disturbances compel them to do so. To count these hidden fish, caretakers from Haida fisheries use another method that Haida have been using since time immemorial: swimming with the fishes. In older times, people were much tougher and entered the water in their birthday suits with a mouthful of air. These days, people have gotten soft thanks to modern developments of rubber, plastic, and glass. Our caretakers can enter the frigid water in relative comfort using a neoprene dry suit, masks, and snorkels. As you may have guessed, sometimes counting fish accurately in deep, dark waters is next to impossible. To work around this natural issue, we use a method that whales have used to detect fish for millions of years: sonar. The caretaker checks the system for fish. Ooh, here's a nice school, and another moving upstream past the sonar head. This technology enables us to watch and count fish in dark stained water in most river conditions. In the aluminum box is the command module and computer, essentially the technological brains of the operation. The cable connects the command module and computer on the riverbank to the sonar head, which is attached to the aluminum frame in the river. To check all of the equipment, the caretaker needs to wade into the dark waters of Yagun and Lay. All looks good except for some debris collecting on the aluminum rack. The caretaker clears it away as part of regular maintenance. On the way out of the site, the caretaker works on the logistics for the species apportionment piece of the project. We love salmon, so what do? We go fishing. Chiina, or salmon, have subtle differences in run timing. Swagan, sockeye, show up first in spring. Tawan, Chinook, arrive in early summer, and Chatan, pink, arrive in late summer. Tai, coho, show up in the fall. However, the different runs overlap with one another a lot. And during this time of year, Swagan, Chatan, and Tawan sometimes swim in the river together. Later that afternoon, the caretakers prepare to determine how many of each species of salmon have moved upstream. Here our crew play out a 100-foot seine net. We perform a circle set in a large pool. We've caught some. The first fish is a small female pink salmon. Ken measures it and confirms its sex. Grant lets it go. As we carefully sample the fish, we record the species, length, sex, and any other unusual biological information. It takes some time to sample all the fish and record all of the information. Ooh, that's a nice Chinook. Some salmon get away with ease, while others seemingly wait in the shallows. Once the fun is over, the real work begins. The net is covered in algae and is at least 220 times heavier than when we began. What a mess. But with a little elbow grease, we get the job done. In this job, you have to be prepared to improvise. The bolt holding our shock to the truck's frame has broken. So here's Ken discovering the millionth use for Ganjin cord. There, the tire is on and it's time to move on to the next aspect of this project. Another aspect of our work is to determine the abundance of juvenile swagan, or sockeye fry, in the lake. After hatching in the spring, swagan and tai, or coho fry, spend at least one summer in fresh water, eating, growing, and escaping the diverse and abundant predators found in the marine environment. Haida Fisheries brings aboard a biologist, Janvier, from the Chiina Fisheries Commission. They bring along an underwater drone that enables them to listen for salmon fry. This method is called a hydroacoustic survey. Janvier flies in with a veritable boatload of gear and we conduct hydroacoustic trawls back and forth across Yagun Sioux. This technique uses sonar to visualize fish in the water column. Each of those blips on screen is potentially a salmon fry. And, just like our in-river Eris project, we need to determine what those blips on screen are. We love fish, so what do? We go fishing. For this project, we perform a mid-water trawl, meaning we tow a large cone-shaped net behind the boat at the same depth as the fish blips on our sonar screen. Success! We have captured at least a dozen swagan fry with no other types of fish. Janvier can now estimate the abundance of swagan fry in the lake habitat with greater confidence. Why do we do all of this? Ultimately, it's to ensure scenes like these, abundant wild salmon populations abounding in this ecosystem for generations to come. As the salmon prosper, so do the forests and animals that depend on them, humans included.
Luchan good at quagget. Hello, oh, hey, Cleo. Gina what Luchan good at quagget. Gina what Luchan good at quagget. Gina what Luchan good at quagget. Hello.